We're going to explore a practice called social noting right now. Social noting is a practice I got from a teacher named Kenneth Folk, although at this point it's sort of made the rounds in the Dharma Buddhist community. It's a great little practice that's a way of exploring the key skills of mindfulness, but doing it in a social way. So instead of just doing a solitary noting practice that you would do, say, in a mindfulness practice where your eyes are closed and you're maybe noting the breath or you're noting sounds, meaning that you're just kind of calling out the plays internally as it happens, you do it instead in a group. So with me here is my wife, Sarah, and my friend, Lily, and they are going to be the co-social noters of this performance. So what we'll do is we're going to do an example of the practice so that you can do it at home and bore your friends with it. And then afterwards, I'll say a little bit about what mindfulness skills were getting built as we did it. Okay, so I know you guys have done social noting before. The basic idea is that at any one moment, all kinds of things could be happening in your experience. You might be hearing sounds, you might be feeling your breakfast, you might be feeling self-conscious by doing this ridiculous video experience. The idea is that you just notice one of them and just use a label to say that that's what's happening and just note it. That's what noting is. So when you're ready, we'll do it. Normally, a practice like this, it would be timed. You might do it for 4 minutes, 3, 4, 5 minutes. So let's do some social noting.
All right.
Breathing.
Excitement.
Anxious.
Smiling.
Smile.
Don't know.
Smiling.
Processing.
Laughing.
Smiling.
Settling.
Mouth.
Eyeball twitching.
Settling.
Breathing.
Relaxing.
Listening.
Swallowing.
Relaxing.
Feeling.
Relaxing.
Hands.
Feeling.
Tightness.
Breathing.
Image.
Chest.
Eyelids.
Awareness.
Butt.
Smiling.
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 Breathing.
Breathing.
Relaxing.
And maybe we'll wrap it up there. So that was social noting. Thank you for enduring that to whoever was watching. So we thought maybe we would just say, what was that like? It was weird doing it in the camera.
It was
but
weird.
What was it like? So what was the inner experience of noting as you were going around? Was it easy to find something? Was it harder to do than when you were, say, meditating at home?
Sometimes it was easier. I'd say overall it was actually easier because I was just hyper focused on just the physical sensations in my body more than I normally am. Normally I'm so in my head when I'm meditating at home, and this was just, what is the temperature of the room? What is my, it's just like going to all these different places in my, my cheeks, my butt, my leg, my foot, stomach, and it was a real clarity for the physical sensations.
Yeah, I mean, if I had been noting just by myself, I might have drifted off into a thought or slowed down. But because you guys are here, I felt myself staying more mindful and like kind of noticing what the next thing was and the next thing and the next thing, and getting into a rhythm.
Yeah. So I always notice for me that there's a kind of pressure at first. You're kind of self-conscious, you're doing this weird group activity, and then there's a kind of relaxing and settling that happens. But I find because I'm in relationship to you guys, I know I have to come up with a prompt, so it keeps me present. One of the things I like about that is, so it's a real clarity booster for a mindfulness practice to do this, and it's also an equanimity booster because you have to relax. I mean, or you notice in real time how braced you are or how tense you are, and then you can make that shift, and that's such a fundamental skill that gets built. So really those two, the clarity, the equanimity, but I think also the concentration too. It's a good way to develop.
And it was fun. Like it was really fun. Like I wanted to do it for a lot longer. You know, I was getting into it and I was like, oh, this is really enjoyable.
Yeah, and you can do it for a lot longer. I mean, I know people that do it for these long sessions and they really like it, so.
But I can imagine like being at work or in a long meeting or something like that and taking like a 5-minute break to do something like this, because it just forces you to be so uber present.
Absolutely.
And it just is really clarifying, and it's kind of like a cold shower in a way.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It's bracing.
Bracing.
Yeah. So welcome to the next public mental health revolution. One of the things that's interesting about doing this practice is you start to see how influenced you are by the social. So you think you're just going to sit and sort of autonomously choose what's going on in your experience, but you're being influenced by what came before. So someone does something, they're feeling nervous, that makes me smile. I say I'm smiling, then it makes you smile, then it makes you smile, and then so there's these cascading effects. So you kind of get a window onto these very subtle human social dynamics that are operating all the time that you might not ordinarily see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I felt like I was observing cause and effect, but not just within my system, but within a social group.
Exactly. So the classic famous Buddhist notion of cause and effect, that everything is caused by something else. You start to see that playing out in real time.
Mm-hmm. If someone else says they're nervous, it makes me notice that I was already a little nervous, and I'm just noticing it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the other people's prompts end up acting like prompts for yourself. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Basically, it's oneness. I mean, it's it's just the same spiritual stuff that you hear about everywhere, but just come at it in a totally nerdy, weird, social way.
Fun way.
Fun way.
Yeah. So if you're interested in introducing meditation to your community, to some kids, to some friends, to some coworkers, I encourage you to bring this strange social practice to them and give it a shot and see what happens.